I just thought I would make a video on this before I start working on my tomato plants. As you can see, they're looking really good. I'm really happy right now. And I told John earlier, I said, I think you could stand out here and watch them grow right now. They're just really doing well. And of course, it's the time of the year when they grow fast. But along with that comes something that in the tomato world is, I guess, highly debatable. I mean, people have really strong opinions one way or the other. And that is what to do with the suckers on tomato. And if you don't know what a sucker is, they are the leaves. If you look in the, I say elbow of your, this is actually, the whole thing is called a leaf on a tomato, but you can say branch. And so that's usually about perpendicular, and you're gonna have this little leaf growing right here, like at a 45-degree angle. There, you can see it here. There's one here, one here. I haven't cut any of them off yet. What we're gonna talk about. So what do you do with those? A lot of people will say, especially if you're going vertical, is to take them off, take them all off, which is one way to do it. And other people say, don't take any of them off. I guess I would say I'm in between. Like I say with a lot of the things I tell you, I'm sort of do my own thing, what works best for me. The biggest thing that people say leave them on, say if you take them all off, you're cutting down on the production of your tomato. These are called suckers, but they're clones of these tomato plants. It's exactly the same plant. Whatever this plant does, that little piece there as it grows is gonna do the same thing. I could take it and plant it right here and water it, and 8 times out of 10, it's gonna grow just fine. It'll grow roots and everything. You don't have to soak it or anything. So these bottom ones, I'm gonna take off. I like to use scissors because I think it's a lot cleaner cut, because yeah, sure, you can pinch them off, and if you have any kind of nail, which I don't right now anyways, you can probably take it right off, but there's always a chance that it'll tear a little bit, and any kind of tear you put on your tomato plant's gonna have to recover from that. It's just like, imagine if you had to get a wound. It's basically a wound like you have. You have to recover from that. So remember, your tomato plant's gonna have to put energy into healing that wound that it would otherwise be using to grow the plant and eventually your tomatoes. So just think about that. It's the same way with the leaves you take off. You just gotta weigh benefit versus not benefit, and whatever works. So anyways, I'll start here because this leaf is gonna come off anyways, because I take the leaves off up into the first fruit set, which I don't even have yet. It's gonna be up here somewhere. So eventually my tomato plant won't have any leaves up that far. But, and I know I'm getting off subject, when I prune leaves, depending on the size of the tomato, you have to be very careful. Say you think you need to take off 4 leaves on a tomato. Well, just take off 1 or 2 a day, then come back in a day or 2 and do the rest. Let your tomato plant focus on just 1 at a time. Don't over stress it, because it will stress it. And also, it's an open wound, and just like you have an open wound, say on your arm or your hand or your leg, and you go roll around in dirt or something, what's gonna happen? You can get an infection. This is just, what is it, 96%, 91% alcohol that you buy. This is just from Walmart. And you saw me, I spray, and I don't have a towel right now, but I usually spray it and then just wipe it off. I'm gonna use my shirt, it's dirty anyways. Just wipe it off. And of course, this isn't gonna be like sterile like you're getting surgery, but it helps. And it keeps you from spreading disease from one plant to the other is the main thing. Take a leaf off without using alcohol on a plant, and then take a leaf and use the alcohol on your scissors when you take it off, and come back in a day and you'll see the difference. The plant heals so much quicker. So anyways, there it is, the little clone of this tomato. I could actually keep that and grow it. And what I'll probably do is take one of the bigger ones and do what I said, just so you guys can see it, see what it does. We can do that at the end of the video. So yeah, so I'm gonna take that one off right now, and I'm also gonna take this one off, okay? So, and you'll have to keep an eye on those because they'll come back. They'll grow back sometimes, which is okay. Just, you might have to cut it again. Now, when I get some up higher, like here's one growing right here. Oh, the two up there. This one actually had two growing. Right here, I don't know, John, you can get that. That's the main stem. This is where where the tomato is growing itself from, right here, the middle. So when these get bigger, let me see if I can, okay, here. But I can't do it exactly, but what you would do, if you want to keep these, what I would suggest is, once it has its first set of fruits on it, or blossoms, you can terminate its growth by just clipping or pinching off the end of that leaf or that part of that sucker. It won't grow anymore, but it'll still produce those tomatoes. And I'll have to show you later, in a later video, show you when they get bigger, because I don't have any big enough to do. But I would clip off the end if I'm going to keep it after it gets its blossoms, and then I would just use one of my tomato clips, like here, and just bring it up like this and clip it to the string, and just leave it, and then it's going to have its fruit. So you're still getting the fruit, but you're not going to have to worry about that branch or that leaf, that sucker growing anymore, because one thing for sure is, and I found it out, especially last year, my tomatoes did so much better because I pruned back things close to the ground, of course, probably 6 inches up by the time I'm done. But then I'll go through and prune even parts of leaves, because airflow through these tomato plants is everything. The more the air can get through the tomato plant and flow, it keeps the leaves a lot drier on the outside and keeps the funguses and mildews and molds and whatever, because anybody that grows tomatoes know that they are very susceptible to everything. I've had years before I started really taking time, and when I just used to plant tomatoes and let them go, maybe string them up, not even like this, but have a cage or whatever. I would get some tomatoes, and then all of a sudden all my tomato plants started to yellow from the bottom up. And that's just like, you got early blight, late blight, you got wilt. There's one that's wilted, and I had a couple of tomatoes do that last year. You just go out one day and the whole tomato looks like it hadn't been watered in a month. You try to water it, it doesn't do anything, and it just basically dies. It just wilts and dies. So there's so many different ones. I mean, just go on the internet and look up tomato, diseases or whatever, and you'll find all kinds of things. That's alcohol, that's why I use that, but you have to be so careful. But I really believe that pruning helps that a lot. Like I said, you have to be careful, because every time you cut something off, like I'm going to cut this off now, you saw me spray that. So that little place right there has to heal. That's just like if you had a scar like that or a cut on your hand, that has to heal. And I do believe the alcohol helps. And it's far off the ground, and I'm not watered today because I watered last night, so I probably won't water. Well, I probably won't have to water because we're expecting rain tomorrow. That should be partly healed over by tomorrow. And so this one, these are big, and you know what? I checked these. I noticed them last night, and I knew I was going to make this video, so I didn't cut any of them off. Holy cow, they grow on there fast. I think I'm going to leave that one right there, but I'm going to take this one off. And it's, well, you know what? I'll leave them both for now. My goal probably is to intentionally leave 2 suckers and let them grow out and get some fruit on before I terminate the ends. But as anybody knows, it grows more than a couple tomatoes. No matter how hard you try, unless you dedicate 8 hours a day, you're going to miss some of those suckers, and you're not going to notice them until they're big. These tomatoes are going to get full. You won't be able to see me in 3 weeks probably, standing here if you're over there where John is. This will be a jungle. And so you're going to miss some. But if you miss them, that's when you find them, cut the ends off, just use, and we'll show that in later videos, and just use your tomato clip. Now, if you were actually growing these, if you wanted to grow more tomatoes off of this tomato, I would say let that get a little bit bigger before you did this. because this one is really small. But if John can follow me over here, I'm going to use my my core seal. Thank you, John. Dip it, take my hose over here. You know what, let's do it in a pot. So I'm going to just rinse it out. All right, I'm going to take my potting soil, which is about 50, I think I told you already, but it's about 50% cocoa coir, 25% compost, and 25% perlite, so it'll drain well. And as I found out in my second batch of potting soil, make sure if you make your own, you get enough of that perlite, because I didn't have it and my soil wasn't draining well, and I lost a lot of seedlings because of that. So we're gonna plant this and we'll see what happens. Now when you do this, even if you have a lot bigger one, don't be surprised if it gets all wilty and sort of bad looking for a few days, because it will. All I'll tell you is just make sure you keep it nice and moist. Of course, not over moist, but I'm gonna give it a good drink, because remember, it doesn't have any roots right now. So I'll make it nice and wet here. And John will mark this as sucker experiment. How's that? So I'm just leave that sit there and we'll mark it, and I'll show you. Well, I'll show you either way, if it lives or it doesn't. But what I'll do is plant some more as they get bigger. And that reminds me also, which is a great point, if you're not growing from seed, which I understand a lot of people don't have time to do that, and I just love planting the seeds, and this is the first year that almost everything, there's a few things. I bought a couple green peppers because my green peppers were doing terrible that I grew from seed. And I bought 2 tomato plants because I wanted to try them. So if you go to a greenhouse, a Home Depot, Lowe's, and buy a plant, don't go buy, say you want beefsteak or German Johns. Both of these are good examples. Say you want to plant 5 beefsteak. Don't buy 5 beefsteak, buy 1. Or buy 2 at the most. Plant it, let it grow, let the sucker get big, take it off, and plant it. I mean, you're saving, I mean, you can get, if you let it grow, you can get probably 5 to 10 plants out of 1 plant. But it's easy to do. I mean, it's no kind of skill to it, as long as you can cut something off a plant and put it in the ground and water it, and I'll probably fertilize that a little bit. All these plants in here are indeterminate, which means they will grow and grow and grow until either disease kills them or frost or freeze kills them. In fact, I'll probably let it grow up pretty high, because I have a nice ladder that I can climb up on. It's more of a, I don't know, it's a ladder, but it's a platform ladder, I guess. And it works great. But when it gets close to the top, I'll do one of 2 things. I can either pull some string down and let the tomato like curve and let it grow some more, or I can terminate it. I can terminate the top, just pluck the top out, and it'll stop growing. And what's nice about that, especially when it's coming close to the end of the season, because these tomatoes will keep putting on blossoms, At one point, you know that those blossoms don't have enough time to grow a full-grown tomato. At that point, it's time to terminate the growth. So then your tomato plant will focus on the tomatoes it already has, growing them big and getting them ripe. So I think that's all I want to tell you right now, but it's funny because every time and John's starting to do it too, I like to see what other people are saying, garden people that I trust and don't trust. I just like to listen to what they're saying. And it's an ongoing debate, and depending on who you listen to, take them all off. Don't take any of them off, and leave some of them. And I think leave some of them is a good option to go, because I think if you leave them all, you're just not going to be able to keep up with keeping your tomato healthy. Just invites more opportunity for disease. And like I said, airflow is everything. So anyways, that's my thoughts on my evolving and always somewhat changing thoughts on suckers on tomato plants. Are they good, are they bad, are they ugly? But there's so many different things like I said, you can leave them, you can pluck them and start new tomato plants, you can take them all off, and you're gonna have a nice, uniform, straight plant with probably really good looking sets of tomatoes. You just won't have as many. They probably be bigger. Pound wise, I mean, people will tell you different things, but I think pound wise, you're gonna come up the same way. So that's why I only leave a few on there, because I like the bigger tomatoes, especially on my beefsteak varieties and my potato leaf varieties that I have. So have a good day. Get out in your garden. It's not only good for your soul, like I say, but it's also good for you physically. Get out there and work in your garden. It'll keep you young for sure. Have a good day, guys. We'll talk soon.